Hello everybody, this is my how to really beat Mayweather part 2, how to really beat him. I'm gonna talk about the I'm gonna let you guys know before I start this video. I'm gonna also talk about the Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather fight, and the Cotto fight against Mayweather, and etc. and all the political aspects. I'm talk about all that, but this fight's about how to beat. This video is about how to beat Mayweather really, how to really beat Mayweather. And I said in the last video, I told you the difference between a slugger and fighter and brawler style. Um, and I, in a modern day brawler right now would probably be GGG. We just saw him fight Macklin last week or like a week ago. He did, and you see how slow he comes forward. That's a brawler. Um, the modern day brawler, the modern day slugger, the closest one that I can think of right now is probably Brandon Rios. He's a slugger. You see how he just keeps coming forward, and you see how crazy he is. How he loves to bang, and he loves to take punishment and give punishment. That's more like a slugger. Um, he's probably the closest thing to it. He's probably the closest fighter to being a slugger that I've seen so far. If you guys know any other ones, let me know. But I believe the slugger style beats Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao has shown the ability to be a slugger at some points, but not all the time. He's mainly boxing sometimes and doing some other things, but he can be a slugger, and I think him Mayweather not fighting was for a reason. Mayweather never wanted to fight a slugger, and it seems like all the fights with sluggers just never happen, and I think I know why now. Sluggers give him problems. His style, they give Floyd Mayweather style problems, and I didn't think so at first until I looked at it on paper, and Mayweather, his style doesn't really match up with them. He always find a way to never fight them. I remember when we were trying to get him to fight Antonio Margarito back in the day. The fight just never happened. He always find a way to get out of it. And this is before the cheating um, incident. So there's no need to bring up that part about well, there's no reason to come to this video talking about how Margarito was cheating because, or putting those bricks into his gloves, because this is way before that. We had no idea that Margarito was illegally fighting. So Floyd Mayweather just didn't fight him. And the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao shows the ability to be a slugger, and he was going to slug against Mayweather. He was going to slug against, he was going to use a slugger style against Mayweather, I believe. But somehow Floyd didn't fight him. That fight never happened. So I think that's the only style that can beat him, and nobody can prove me wrong because Ford never fought that style. That's the only style he hasn't fought yet. So you know nobody can really prove me wrong and say that I'm wrong. But on paper, I showed you guys in the last video, that should be Mayweather. And I thought Robert Guerrero was gonna do that in his last fight, but he never did. He came in there boxing, and I was shocked because I'm thinking to myself, "What are you doing?" Like, I thought he knew to throw a. I thought he was gonna go in there and throw 1,000 punches and overwhelm Floyd, but he never did. He came in there trying to box and got beat down. So, and he couldn't really take Mayweather's punches the way he probably needed to either. So, man, maybe we just need a slugger, dude, a crazy guy like Brandon Rios who just love to get hit and just it's just wow. Because the slugger style, it's a young man's game. I'm not even sure if Manny Pacquiao can keep that up anymore. But I would love to I would love to still see the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight. Mayweather keeps trying to get out of it now. He keeps trying to say, Pacquiao asleep, Pacquiao is gone, blah blah blah. Because I don't think he wants to fight. Because I don't think he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. And his fans are just, I don't know if it's really his fans, but people are just going around saying that now. And I find it to be odd because people, you should be the main one. The people who've been the fans, the us who've been watching the fight, or just people who've been watching boxing for a minute. We should love to see it. We should be the main ones saying no. you to fight Manny Pacquiao. We owe it to ourselves that he fights Manny Pacquiao. You owe it to yourself because because especially if you were there and you saw all the hype around that fight, if you were there and you saw all these problems happen and you were there the whole time when the sport was focused on those two only, we deserve to see that fight. I don't care what happens. I want to see the fight. I hope Manny Pacquiao looks good against Brandon Rios, and if Mayweather can get past his tough opponent coming up next on September 14th, but Canelo Alvarez, I want to see that fight happen next. Sometime in sometime in 2014. But I do believe, the slugger style does the slugger people who can slug, they don't last very long. So um, I think that's the only style that can beat him, Mayweather. But a boxer puncher could also do very good against him. And Mayweather's fighting a pretty good boxer puncher on September. Well, in September, because that's the only guy. So I mean, because Canelo looks like he's a boxer puncher. The way he's moving around and the way he's doing what he's doing and countering and boxing, and I mean he's starting to look like more of a boxer puncher than a brawler. At first I thought it was a brawler. At first I thought Canelo was a brawler, but he's starting to look like more of a boxer puncher. And I remember somebody told me that too, that he was a brawler. But the more I look at him, because I had the Trout versus the Canelo fight with me, so I always watch that fight, and he's starting to look like more of a boxer puncher to me. So I think Floyd's gonna fight a good boxer puncher on September 14th, and we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does against that style. But you know, I'd like to see him fight. But which I don't think he will though. I don't think he will. Sluggers don't last very long at this age. They're probably not even here anymore. And Brandon Rios is not even that good of a slugger. And he's not. I don't think he was better than Paul Williams as a slugger just because of the athletic ability. I think Paul was a little bit better athletically, so he was a little bit better. Um, Brandon has some good qualities about him too, but I don't think I just don't see him being able to. I don't think he. I don't know, because I remember Margarito could punch pretty hard. So I think those two. I think Margarito and Paul were a little bit better than Brandon Rios. So you know we're past that. I don't think Floyd's going to ever fight a slugger again. If they are here, they're probably going to be young, but I doubt it. He probably won't fight them. He doesn't want to fight that style, and he never did. So yeah, I think that's how you beat him though. And that concludes my how to really beat Floyd Mayweather series. It's cool through this. I'm out of here.